Good afternoon, everyone. Bon après-midi, tout le monde. Thank you very much for being here. Just a few months ago, Canada signed a new security and defence partnership with the European Union, and we launched our negotiations toward Canada's participation in what's called the Security Action for Europe Agreement, or SAFE, S-A-F-E. This is an instrument that's going to be used by the European Union to obviously rebuild and rearm and reconstitute the forces in a European Union context. Today, the Prime Minister has announced the conclusion of negotiations for Canada's participation in SAFE, unlocking billions of dollars of defence opportunities for our Canadian businesses. This is part and parcel of the Prime Minister's plan that he set out some months ago. This will allow Canada, for example, to participate by supplying capabilities such as ammunition, missiles, drones, artillery systems, infantry weapons, and beyond. So the opportunities for Canada are enormous. It will catalyze massive private investment in Canada. It'll attract new reliable suppliers for our own needs here in Canada. But this is the only country, Canada is the only country outside of the European Union to be asked to join the European Union. So it's a very unique opportunity for us. It speaks to our diversification, our expansion of markets. So the Prime Minister's early efforts in doing so have actually materialized today, and we're very encouraged. Donc aujourd'hui, nous sommes ici pour annoncer que nous avons conclu des négociations avec l'Union européenne pour participer dans l'entente d'agir pour la sécurité en Europe. C'est une opportunité incroyable pour le Canada. C'est un marché de 1,3 billion de dollars d'ici 10 ans, $1.3 trillion of opportunities over the next 10 years. So we're obviously finishing up the first two phases. Nous finissons la deuxième phase de négociation. Nous rentrons dans le troisième. Mais c'est quand même quelque chose de significatif, majeur pour le Canada, à un moment important où nous sommes en train de rebâtir, de relancer nos forces armées canadiennes, le matériel, nos besoins. Donc, c'est vraiment quelque chose de spécial pour le Canada et nous sommes très fiers. Et je pense que le Premier ministre a très, très bien vu, dès le début, avec son plan, que c'est une question de diversifier nos liens économiques et nos liens dans le domaine de la défense. Et voilà, nous voyons aujourd'hui la preuve. Donc, nous sommes ici pour prendre vos questions. Le secrétaire d'État, avec le secrétaire de M. Fure, est avec moi. Donc, we're here to take your questions in English or in French. Thank you very much.
Minister McGuinty, can I ask you, the other non-European country that's been negotiating to join SAFE is the UK. And negotiations have broken down because of the entrance fee, reportedly in the case of the UK, $6 billion to join SAFE. What is the amount you expect we're going to be paying to join SAFE? Is it hundreds of millions, or is it billions?
I'm not aware of the UK situation with the European Union. I don't have any details. You're informing me for the first time. I'm not privy to the negotiations. We have a team in Brussels that's been driving these negotiations. And as you know, I learned a long time ago as a former negotiator, never comment on negotiations when you're not at the table.
Sorry, but Minister, there is a fee that will be part of joining SAFE.
We'll have more to say about that in due course. The quantum will be released, the details will be released, and for that matter, the extent to which Canada will participate in the $244 billion marketplace immediately for Canada. This will be better known in due course.
Minister, you said that you want to use more Canadian steel in defence. Today, Algoma announced that it's laying off 1,000 workers. How does that impact Canada's ability for getting a trade deal? Does that more pressure on your government in order to avoid future layoffs?
It's a terrible situation, as we've learned here today in Algoma, with respect to Algoma. But I think what this agreement speaks to is our efforts to diversify, to expand our markets, to prepare for Canadian companies to receive incoming investments and to go out and look. Listen, as I've said before, Canada can compete and Canada can win, and we will. In the defence sphere, we will, and we are. So as we continue to build the momentum, the opportunities, the financing, our own industrial strategies here domestically, you'll see Canada's growth in this space continue to grow, and quickly.
But how do you square diversifying those markets with a buy Canadian approach? I mean, it seems like Canada won't be ready for our own steel needs for years down the line now. Are you seeing an accelerated path to that?
Look, we are accelerating on many. This agreement has accelerated. It's incredible how quickly we proceeded with these negotiations. The Prime Minister was right. It was part of his fundamental plan for the future in reaction to the changes south of the border, in reaction to the new normal that we're facing as an economy. So I think right now we are very well placed to see quick action on Buy Canadian. How this will materialize, we'll see more as we roll out different policy
Did your government
directives.
get a heads up about Algoma's layoffs?
I'm not aware of that. You'll forgive me.
Par rapport au F-35, est-ce que les tarifs sur l'acier et l'aluminium aux États-Unis vont faire grimper le coût à la fin du contrat? Est-ce que ça va faire augmenter le coût?
Pas en mesure de vous répondre directement là-dessus. Je sais que, évidemment, l'achat des F-35, la revue continue, et vous voyez pourquoi. Il y a plusieurs éléments, plusieurs questions, il y a plusieurs enjeux dans tout ça, donc on le suit de très près, mais ça, c'est une question peut-être bien qu'on devrait poser à M. Leblanc ou au Premier ministre directement. C'est eux qui sont en train de gérer les négociations avec la Maison-Blanche.
Par rapport au F-35, désolé Hélène, mais est-ce que vous avez eu des garanties de Lockheed Martin ou du gouvernement américain en matière de défense? Là? Je veux dire, c'est de l'approvisionnement militaire.
Oui, écoutez, ce que vous me demandez, c'est de commenter encore une fois sur des négociations qui sont en train de se poursuivre. Je ne suis pas en mesure de vous donner des insights, comme on dit en anglais. C'est une question peut-être mieux placée à M. Leblanc.
La revue, finalement, la révision, là, ça devait être en septembre.
La revue va être complétée quand c'est complété.
Juste pour bâtir là-dessus, parce qu'on sait que le Canada fait partie du consortium sur les F-35, on a une certaine partie des contrats.
Depuis plus de 20 ans, oui.
Oui. Est-ce que cette révision en cours peut compromettre ces contrats-là, cette participation canadienne?
Bien, on sait, comme pays fondateur, un des 8 pays, dès le début, on faisait partie de l'équipe qui a créé le momentum, la recherche pour le F-35, pour la prochaine génération d'avions de chasse. Nous savons que si le Canada fait pas partie de la famille comme telle, que ça va être très difficile, sinon impossible, pour les compagnies canadiennes de participer dans les contrats. Ça, on sait dès le début. Ça fait partie de l'entente que nous avons signée. Donc, tout ça, c'est à voir. Ça fait partie, évidemment, comme je vous ai dit, de la revue qui continue.
Minister, we've all been called here today because the negotiations on SAFE have been concluded. Why can't you tell us how much Canada is going to have to pay?
Because the fine print in terms of the third and final element of the negotiations continue. Our negotiating team here's how I think Canadians should see this. We've been allowed to step inside a tent, the European Union tent. We've been allowed to participate like no other non-European state has been allowed. We have negotiated our way into the tent to build this relationship and participate in very large opportunities for procurement. The details in terms of costs, percentages are being ironed out. They will be ironed out. But the really good news is we're in the tent. And like I say, we can compete because we are competing and we will win.
So you're still negotiating on the access fee?
We're still negotiating on the fine terms, the fine-tuning the terms of all the final inked deal that's coming. It won't be long. I'm quite sure our negotiators who have expedited this like I haven't seen before. I'm a guy who spent 5 years practicing European law in Europe. I haven't seen this kind of deal happen as quickly as it did. I think we should all be very encouraged. Thank you very much. Merci.